Hello again. Well, it's 20 days to Hyrox now. So this time in 20 days time, first Hyrox will have been done yesterday, and the next Hyrox will be tomorrow. So sandwiched in the middle of two Hyroxes. Actually going to be doing a park run on the Saturday in between the two Hyroxes, which is going to be fun. But yesterday I talked about pre-race fueling and getting that right. Today I want to talk about, and you could put these in, but it's a very specific thing I want to talk about, and that's caffeine. It's one of these kind of things that, again, is something, and I've talked about this before, something that I introduced into my training along the way when I started doing the bigger training. When I was doing just the pure weights and resistance training, my 5 a.m. training sessions, they were always fasted, and that was part of, obviously, go along with the diet and getting lean and strong and everything else. When I do these big sessions, I started introducing caffeine in there and using it from a point of view of a natural stimulant. When you're eating to a deficit, your body wants those calories, it's using the calories. So having that little kind of boost was how I originally started kind of using it. Now, again, using, not abusing. And I'd love to say that I'm a connoisseur of fine coffee and I make my, brew my own and ground it. I don't like coffee, don't like tea. So unfortunately, I am talking about, slightly bad for me. It's one of my few vices left, is a Red Bull-esque kind of caffeinated drink, just the kind of the small cans. And again, it's something that I slowly experimented with bringing into my training to see the difference it makes, and experimented with when I took it, how close to when I was exercising, and whether I took it afterwards and things like that. So again, my advice is that if you regularly use caffeine when you're doing big kind of hit sessions, similar to what Hyrox is going to be, then make sure you use it on the day. If you're someone that doesn't generally drink caffeine, then don't worry about it. It's not going to make a massive difference to you. If you're someone that wants to experiment with caffeine because you haven't used it, then again, you've got 20 days. Some big training sessions, try some caffeine. Typically, it takes around 20 odd minutes to get into your system for that kind of maximum effect. So it's great to have, pre-workout, when you're heading off to the gym or just kind of, getting ready to go, depending on how long it then takes you to get set up and run. Again, I take mine about 15 minutes before I head to the gym when I'm doing the big sessions, knowing that there's generally about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of warm-up set up, depending on what we're working out for the plan for the day. So I know it's in my system then, and it just gives me that boost to go in and push hard in those kind of sessions. So again, it's one of those things. It's not going to make a massive difference if you're not a caffeine drinker. If don't abuse it, but equally, a bit like when I said with the pre-race fueling, you're going to typically be in a strange environment, potentially a strange hotel or whatever, or you've been traveling and things like that. So again, get used to doing these, get used to emulating what's going to work for you. And if caffeine works for you, then make sure it's part of your pre-race routine. If caffeine isn't there, brilliant. Then crack on. It's not an essential. Getting your fueling right is essential because you don't want to push that either way and feel really bloated or really hungry and lacking in energy. So it's getting that right. Caffeine is just one of those things that don't avoid it because, oh no, I'm drinking some carbonated beverage with taurine in and stuff like that. I've tried it. I know what it does for me. I know how it helps my workouts and the big ones, and I know how it's going to help me in the race. So it's just part of my kind of race readiness, as it were. So again, make it part of yours if it's already part of your routine. If it's not and you want to try it, then try it over the next the next 20 days, but don't try it on the day, because if you might react either way to it. Might be fantastic, but might not, and you don't want to risk that. You've been training leading up to the Hyrox, you've paid your ticket, you've got everything ready. You don't want to have anything kind of ruin your race day, and having something that you're not used to having would do that. So yeah, that's kind of caffeine. Again, it can be vilified a bit. It can be seen as that, that's a bad thing. But again, used as part of your routine, used as part of your training, and used as part of your pre-race, if that fits in, then it can really help. and just kind of see whether that's going to help for you. I said, I know exactly what I will be having, when I'll be having, and I've tried it and know the running's good on it and everything else. So again, it's just taking that thing out of having to think about it and worry about it. I know exactly what I'll be eating and drinking and when I'll be eating and drinking it before the race, to make sure that that's not one of the factors that will affect my race on the day. And that's what I'm trying to do, limit those things, because there's enough things that will do that. You know, the carpet's really sticky on the pull or the push, you know, God, the track feels longer, the wall balls feel heavier than in the gym, all those other things on the day, and adrenaline and, you know, the track and everything else. So, you know, control as much as you can, and you can absolutely control what you put inside your body with your fueling and with if caffeine is part of that. So hopefully that helps. 20 days to go, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.